Hello everyone, welcome to today's video on functions. In today's session, we'll be making this topic very easy and very accessible to all the students from all the various backgrounds. Right, so before we get into the session, I want you to like the video, share it amongst your friends who find this topic a very dreadful one and also who want to make this topic as a very easy one for their CAT examination. So let's get into today's session. So what's in today's video? In today's video, we'll be looking at simple concepts of functions based on previous year questions, and along with that, I'll also be telling you how to solve those kind of questions in a very simplified manner and also ensure that you crack this question in the least possible time. So why is this topic important? Now this topic is important as it is evident from the table that every year for the past 6 to 7 years, we have been seeing questions from functions coming up in CAT. Right. So if you are comfortable with this topic, we can easily assure ourselves 3 marks within no time. And you know what is the beauty of this topic? This topic has no concept, this topic has no formula, and all we need to understand is function. And whenever I talk about a function of f of x, clear, all I mean is I have an input value of x and we get the output value as per given in the question. Right. So let's look at questions by questions. Let's understand how to solve those questions in an easy manner. Right. So input value of x will be given to us and we will have to use the expression and finally get the output value of the expression that is asked to us. Right. Now let's understand this first question. Before we get into this question, let's understand the concept of f of g of x, that is f of g of x or g of f of x. Okay. Now let's understand this. I'm given f of x is equal to x square, right, and g of x is equal to 2 to the power x. So if I look at it that way, so I have f of x is equal to x square and I have g of x is equal to 2 to the power x. So whenever we have something like this, and if you understand, leave this expression, the question is saying at x is equal to 1, which means it's simple. If I want f of 1, the concept of function says in place of x replace 1, so that becomes 1 square, which will be 1. Similarly, if I want the value of g of 1, again in place of x I replace 1, so this becomes 2 to the power 1, that is 2. Right. So if I need f of 2 by chance, then in place of x I replace 2, this becomes a 2 square, that becomes equal to 4. And if I want g of 2 will be 2 to the power 2, which will also be equal to 4, and so on and so on and so on. Now, whenever we are given something like this f of g of x, our first job is to get the innermost value. Clear? So before we get into this question, let me erase this ink on the slide. Yeah. Now, so if I want f of g of x instead of x, I want x is equal to 1. Clear? Now, the simple way to attack is we first calculate the value of the innermost value. What is the innermost value? That is g of 1. We know that if I replace g of 1 here, this becomes 2 to the power 1, that is 2. So I can rewrite this as f of 2. Then again the innermost value is f of 2. Let's replace f of 2 instead of x, if I replace 2, this becomes 2 square, that is 4, which means eventually I am calculating f of 4. What is f of 4? F of 4 becomes 4 square and therefore the value here becomes 16. Similarly, I want g of f of 1. Now f of 1 is 1 square, that is 1, which means eventually I want g of 1. What is g of 1? G of 1 is 2 to the power 1, that is equal to 2. Right, and therefore our final value here becomes 16 plus 2, that is equal to 18, and this is how you can solve these questions in the most simplified form. Right, so simple funda guys, whenever I am asked f of x, the value of x is given to us, we have to replace that as an input value in the expression and get the respective values. Clear? Similarly, whenever we are given f of g of x, we first calculate the innermost value and then we keep on going out and out and out and finally get our final answer. Clear? Right? Now let's move to the next question here. Now f of x is given to us as 5x plus 2 divided by 3x minus 5, and g of x is given to us as x square minus 2x minus 1. I want to calculate the value of g of f of 3. So this is what we need to calculate. So as we already learned, our funda is simple. We calculate the innermost value f of 3. So what is f of 3? Let me calculate f of 3 here. So f of 3 would be, I replace, this becomes 5 into 3, instead of x I replace 3, divided by, this becomes 3 into 3 minus 5. So that becomes 15 plus 2, that is 17, 9 minus 5, that is equal to 4. So this can be written as g of f of 17 by 4. So what is the innermost value here? The innermost value is f of 17 by 4. So our job is to now to calculate f of 17 by 4. Now let's calculate this. This becomes 5 into 17 by 4. I can write plus 2 as 8 by 4 divided by, this becomes 3 into 17 by 4 minus 5 can be written as 20 by 4. So 5 17s is 85, 85 plus 9, 85 plus 8 is 93 by 4 whole divided by 51 minus 20 is 31. This becomes 31 by 4, 4 and 4 gets cancelled. That is 93 by 31 and therefore the value becomes 3. So f of 17 by 4 is equal to 3. That means my job is to finally calculate the value of g of 3. Now what is g of x given to us? G of x is x square minus 2x minus 1. So instead of x I replace 3, this becomes 3 square minus 2 into 3 minus 1. So 3 square gives me 9, clear, minus 6 minus 1, and therefore the final value that we get here is going to be 2, and therefore our answer becomes option E. So two simple questions to start off with, guys. I repeat, the strategy is quite simple. Look at the question, look at what is asked, and then we start applying the question. There is no formula in this topic. Nothing else has to be done in this whole topic as such. Right? Now let's look at the next question here. Now we are given f of x is equal to x square minus 7x. G of x is given as x plus 3. We want to find the minimum value of f of g of x minus 3. What is g of x first of all? G of x is x minus 3. That means I want the value of f of x minus 3, sorry, x plus 3 minus 3x. Now what is f of x plus 3? Instead of x I replace x plus 3. So this becomes x plus 3 whole square minus 7 into x plus 3. And then finally we have a minus 3x. Clear? So x plus 3 whole square will eventually give you x square plus 9 plus 6x. Then we have a minus 7x. And then we have a minus 21. And then we have a minus 3x. That means what do we have here finally? We have x square. You have a 6x minus 7x will give you minus x. Minus x minus 3x will give you minus 4x. And you have a minus 21 plus 9. So minus 21 plus 9 will eventually give us minus 12. So we want to find the minimum value of a quadratic expression. Now we should know that the minimum value of a quadratic expression, so what are the fundas that we need to remember with minimum value of a quadratic expression? Happens at x is equal to minus b by 2a. So what is the value of minus b? Minus of minus 4 divided by the value of a is 2, that is 2 into 1. That means that x is equal to 2, the minimum value occurs. And what is the minimum value? When we replace the value of x is equal to 2, that is 2 square minus 4 into 2 minus 12. So minus 8 minus 12 is minus 20. Minus 20 plus 4 will give me minus 16 as the final value. And therefore the answer here becomes option D, that is minus 16. So again I repeat, guys, functions is not a difficult topic. This question was a combination of functions and quadratic equations. Clear? Especially the maxima and minima of a quadratic equation. Right? Let's move to the next question. Now this was a very interesting question. F of x plus 2 is equal to f of x plus f of x plus 1. Okay. For all positive integers x. This is a very important hint given to us. Now f of 11 is equal to 91. That means I have to use f of 11. And f of 15 is equal to 617. That means I have to use f of 15 to get the value of f of 10. Now since we want the value of f of 10, let me replace x is equal to 10. If I replace x is equal to 10, I get f of 12 is equal to f of 10 plus f of 11. Clear? Or in short, what do we want? We want f of 10 is equal to f of 12 minus f of 11. Now we do not know the value of f of 12. Let me assume f of 12 is equal to k. So we want the value of k minus 91 here. This is what we are expected to calculate, right? Now, so since I'm given f of 15 as well, we have to use f of 15, right? So let's move forward. Let me replace x is equal to 11. If I replace x is equal to 11, f of 11 plus f of 12 is equal to f of 13. Now what is f of 11? We know that f of 11 is equal to 91, f of 12 is equal to k. So we get the conclusion that f of 13 is equal to k plus 91. We have to use f of 15. So let's continue forward. Let's replace f of 12. f of 12 plus f of 13 is equal to f of 14. Now f of 12. So what is f of 14? f of 14 is equal to f of 12, which is equal to k, and f of 13, which is equal to k plus 91. Clear? So my f of 14 would become 2k plus 91. Now let's check finally. If I replace x is equal to 13, this is f of 13 plus f of 14 is equal to f of 15. So which means f of 15 here would be the value of f of 13. What is f of 13? That is k plus 91. And what is f of 14? That is 2k plus 91. So what do we get eventually? The value of f of 15 we know is 617 is equal to 3k plus 182, or we get 3k is equal to 182. So this will give me 5. 61 minus 18 will give me 43. 435. That means the value of k would be 145. So this is going to be the value of k. And what are we expected to calculate? If you remember, our expectation was to calculate k minus 91. So therefore our final value becomes 145 minus 91, and that is going to be 54, and therefore 54 becomes our final value. So this is how we simplifiably attack the questions with respect to these kind of questions given to us. Slightly lengthy but calculation intensive. Nothing much to do. Remember, look at what is given, understand what is asked, and our job is to mix and match and get our final answer. Let's move to the next question. Now, this question says, suppose for all integers x, there are two functions, f of x plus f of x minus 1. So let's understand this way. F of x plus f of x minus 1 is equal to 1. And similarly, we have g of x is equal to x square. So we have two functions. Okay. Now f of x square minus x is equal to 5. Now this is a beautiful part. Whenever I am looking at f of x square minus x is equal to 5, that means for any value of x, the value will be 5. Okay. Now I want f of g of 5. So it is easy to calculate g of 5 from here, guys. What is g of 5? If I replace g of 5 from here, g of 5 will be 25. So eventually I want f of 25 here. Understand what is asked, f of 25 plus g of f of 5. That means I need the value of f of 5. Now let's understand. Let's replace the value of x is equal to 1. If I replace the value of x is equal to 1, we have 1 square minus 1 is equal to 5, which means I am told that f of 0 is equal to 5. Clear? Right? Now let's come up with this here. Now if I take x is equal to 1, I get f of 1 plus f of 0 is equal to 5, or from here we get f of 1. Now let me write it here. F of 1 is equal to 1 minus 5. Clear? So this is equal to 1, sorry, that is 1 minus 5, which is equal to minus 4. Now let's replace x is equal to 2. If I replace x is equal to 2, I get f of 2 plus f of 1 is equal to 1, or in short we get f of 2 is equal to 1 minus f of 1, that is 1 minus of minus 4, that is 5. So what am I observing? Let's take f of 3 for example. Now f of 3 plus f of 2 is equal to 1, or f of 3 is equal to 1 minus f of 2, that is equal to minus 4. So we are understanding a cyclic pattern. F of 0 is equal to 5, f of 1 is equal to minus 4, f of 2 is again equal to 5, f of 3 is again equal to minus 4, and so on and so on and so on. Which means, can I conclude that f of odd number? So we can conclude that f of odd is equal to minus 4 and f of even is equal to 5. Now what do we want? We want f of 5. So what is f of 5? F of 5 will be f of odd, which is equal to minus 4. So eventually our question to ask is f of 25 plus g of minus 4. Clear? Now what is f of 25? F of 25 is again an odd number. Clear? So if of 25 is an odd number, that becomes minus 4 plus g of minus 4 will be minus 4 square. What is minus 4 square? That is 16. So 16 plus of minus 4, the final answer here is going to be 12, which will be our required answer. Clear? So slightly complicated, but not a very difficult question, guys. We use the functions to understand what are the values that we get, and accordingly we keep on getting our required answers. Right? So let's look at the next question here. Now f of n is equal to n into n plus 1. Okay. So we have f of n is equal to n into n plus 1. This is if n is an even number. Similarly, we have f of n is equal to n plus 3 if n is an odd number. Now, if m is a positive integer, now the best part is the question is giving us positive integer. That means I do not know whether m is odd or m is even. Okay, and I am given that 8 times of f of m plus 1 minus f of m is equal to 2. Then find the value of m. Now understand here. So I am using m plus 1 and I am using m. Now let's take m as an odd number. If m is an odd number, odd plus 1 will be an even number. Similarly, if m is an even number, even plus 1 will always be an odd number. So we'll have to take these two cases because I'm not told what is the value of m. Am I clear with this point, guys? Now, so we'll take the first case where m is equal to odd. Okay. If m is equal to odd, that means we eventually have m plus 1 will be even. So I will have 8 times of f of m plus 1. That means I replace, instead of n, I replace m plus 1. That becomes 8 times of m plus 1 into m plus 1 plus 1, that is m plus 2. And f of m becomes an odd number. So instead of n, we replace m. So that becomes that becomes m plus 3. Right? F of m will become m plus 3 and this value given to us is 2. So let's simplify this first. So we get 8 into this is m square plus 3m plus 2 minus of m plus 3 is equal to 2, or we have 8m square plus 24m plus 16 minus m minus 3 minus 2 is equal to 0. So what do we have eventually here? So if you observe, we have 8m square plus 24 minus m will give me plus 23m. 16 minus 5 will give me 11 is equal to 0. Now if you understand, 11 8s are 88 and I want two numbers sum to be 23. If you observe, the value of m will not be an integer. And I am told that m is a positive integer, which means this case does not work. So we go to the second case where we take m is equal to even. If m is equal to even, then m plus 1 becomes odd. So 8 times of f of m plus 1. M plus 1 will be, I replace m plus 1 plus 1. That becomes 8 times of m plus 4 minus f of m, that is m into m plus 1, and this whole value is equal to 2. So what do we get finally here? We get 8m plus 32 minus m square minus m is equal to 2, or finally we have m square minus 7m minus 30 is equal to 0. So what do we get here? We get m minus 10 into m plus 3 is equal to 0, and we get two values of m. So what are the values of m? M is equal to 10 or m is equal to minus 3, but I'm clearly told that m is a positive integer. If m is a positive integer, m is equal to 10, and therefore 10 becomes our final answer. So you see guys, the questions are not very lengthy here, but all we need to understand is, not very difficult here, and all we need to understand is we need to just simplify, replace and get our final values. Clear? So let's understand the next question here. F of x plus y is equal to f of x into f of y. Okay. So we have f of x plus y is equal to f of x into f of y. Okay. X and y are positive integers. Okay. So I'm told that f of 1 is equal to 2. Fair enough. Now understand, I am asked f of a plus, I am given f of a plus 1 plus f of a plus 2 so on till f of a plus n. So let's understand. So can I say f of a plus 1 will be f of a into f of 1. Similarly, f of a plus 2 will be f of a into f of 2. Similarly, f of a plus 3 is equal to f of a into f of 3, and so on, so on, so on. We have f of a plus n is equal to f of a into f of n. So what am I looking at here? That means we have f of a common across. Now we need the values of f of 1, f of 2, f of 3 and so on, so on, so on. Now let's use this to get the values here. I'm writing it here guys. F of 1 is given to us as 2. So can I write f of 1 plus 1, that is f of 2, is equal to f of 1 into f of 1. That is 2 square, which is 4. Now f of 3 can be written as 2 plus 1, which is f of 2 into f of 1, which will be 2 square into 2, that will give me 2 cube. Similarly, if you observe f of 3 plus 1, now f of 3 is equal to 2 cube and f of 1 is equal to 2. So that is going to give me 2 to the power 4 and so on, so on, so on is what we are calculating. So in short, I can write this as 2 into f of a plus 2 square into f of a plus 2 cube into f of a and so on, so on, so on. 2 to the power n into f of a is equal to 16 into 2 to the power n minus 1. So we can take 2 into f of a common. So we will have 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1 plus 2 square, so on, so on, so on, till 2 to the power n is equal to 16 into 2 to the power n minus 1. Now, what is 2 to the power 0? That is 1. Now, 1 can be written as 2 to the power 1 minus 1. So, 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1 is 3, which can be written as 2 square minus 1. So, remember this guys. So, if I am looking at 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1, so on, so on, so on. Sorry, this is n minus 1. Till 2 to the power n minus 1, this value will be 2 to the power n minus 1. You go to the next number. Since this is 1, I write 2 square minus 1. Since this is 0, I write 2 to the power 1 minus 1. So, since this is n minus 1 plus 1, that is 2 to the power n minus 1. So, we get 2 times of f of a into 2 to the power n minus 1 is equal to 16 into 2 to the power n minus 1. So, this value and this value gets cancelled. 2 1s are 2 8s are gets cancelled. So, we get f of a is equal to 8, which is nothing but 2 cube. And we know here that f of 3 is equal to 2 cube. Clear? If f of 3 is equal to 2 cube, we can conclude that the value of a is nothing but 3, and that is going to be our required answer. So again, a slightly lengthy question, but a beautiful question to apply. No logic. We have to just understand how to use the functions and get our required value. Just input and get the required output. Clear? Now let's understand this question. Now I am told that f of m into n is equal to f of m into f of n. Okay, f of m into n is equal to f of m into f of n for every positive integer m and n. Okay, f of 1, f of 2, f of 3 are positive integers. Now let's try to understand. F of 2 into 1, that is equal to f of 2, which is equal to f of 2 into f of 1. Now understand here, f of 2 is equal to f of 2 into f of 1. How is that possible? That is only possible if f of 1 is equal to 1. F of 2 is equal to 2 into 1, that is f of 2 into 1, that is f of 2. Clear? So first conclusion that we can have is f of 1 is equal to 1. Now I am told that m and n are positive integers and f of 24 is equal to 54. Now 24 can be written as 3 into 8, which means that is f of 3 into f of 8 is equal to 54. Now suppose I write f of 2 into 2, that is f of 4, which is equal to f of 2 into f of 2. Let me take f of 2 as x, so that becomes x square. Similarly, f of 4 into 2 will be f of 4 into f of 2. Now f of 4 is equal to x square into x will eventually give me x cube. So I can write this as x cube. Now 54 can be written as 3 cube, that is 27 into 2. Now what is f of 3? Let me assume f of 3 is equal to y. So y into x cube is equal to 3 cube into 2, and I am told that m and n are positive integers. So I can conclude that f of 2 is equal to 3. So from here I can conclude x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2, and f of 3 is equal to 2. And this is also satisfying the condition that f of 1 is less than f of 2. Clear, guys? Now I want f of 18. What is f of 18? Now f of 18 is equal to f of 9 into 2. So I eventually want the value of f of 9 into f of 2. Now what is f of 9? F of 9 can be written as f of 3 into 3. That is f of 3 into f of 3, which is going to be 2 into 2. So f of 9 is going to be 4 and f of 2 is going to be 3, and therefore our final answer is going to be 12, and that's going to be our required answer. So again, not a difficult question here, guys. All we need to understand is how do we attack functions, how do we use the function input values to get the desired output as asked in the question. Now this is the most easy question, clear, given to us. I want the value of f of the largest possible value of f of 1. Clear, right? Now if I write f of a into 1 is equal to f of a into f of 1. So this can be eventually written as f of a is equal to f of a into f of 1. So f of a gets cancelled, and therefore the largest possible value of f of 1 will always be equal to 1. Okay, and always remember, whenever you have, there is a shortcut to it. Whenever you have a function like this, f of a into b is equal to f of a into f of b, right? So in that case, you can remember that the largest possible value of f of x will be either 0 or x to the power n. So you want the value of f of 1, so either f of 1 is equal to 0 or it is 1 to the power 1, and 1 to the power 1 is always 1. So among 0 and 1, if I want the largest possible value, the largest possible value is always equal to 1. So you can remember this shortcut and eventually get into your answer in the examination as well. Clear? Now this was a question which was involving functions and modulus. Okay. Now f of x is given to us, f g of x is given to us. I want mod of f of x plus g of x. that is 2x minus 5 plus 7 minus 2x. This whole thing was in mod is equal to f of x, that is mod of 2x minus 5 plus g of x, that is mod of 7 minus 2x. So, this plus 2x minus 2x gets cancelled, mod of 2 is equal to 2. So, eventually we have mod of 2x minus 5 plus mod of 7 minus 2x, mod, which is equal to mod of 2 is equal to 2. So, we can apply modulus here, there is a plus sign here given to us. So, one root is if 2x is equal to 5, x is equal to 5 by 2, and the second root is 7 minus 2x is equal to 0. So, 7 is equal to 2x or x is equal to 7 by 2. So, we have roots called 5 by 2 and we have roots called 7 by 2. Let us replace these values here. If I replace, this becomes 0 and this value will give me 2 here. 7 by 2 will be 7 minus 5, that is 2, and if I replace this here, this value will become 0 and this value will always give me 2, and I want equal to 2. Equal to 2 means any value between this range will satisfy our given answer. So, therefore, the value of x is going to be greater than or equal to 5 by 2 and less than or equal to 7 by 2, and thus option D becomes our answer. So, if I know how to handle the basics of modulus, then the job further becomes very easy to look at and answer this question in the examination. Right. Now, let us look at this question. Now, I am told that A, B, C are non-zero real numbers such that b square is less than 4ac, or I can say b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Whenever b square minus 4ac is less than 0, we need to understand that the equation will have imaginary roots. If the equations have imaginary roots, then you will have either a parabola like this or a parabola like this. Right, a set S consists of all the integers m such that f of m is less than 0, then find the set S must necessarily be what? F of m less than 0, that means f of x. So, I want f of x to be less than 0. Now, if I take this case, clear? In this case, f of x is always greater than 0. If f of x is always greater than 0, that means in this case I will always have an empty set. Now, the parabola is like this, then in this case you need to remember that f of x is always less than 0. That means x belongs to real numbers. But I am told that S consists of all integers. So, I can also conclude that x belongs to integers. So, either I can have an empty set or I can have a set of all the integers, and therefore, our answer here becomes option B, which was not a very difficult question to answer, provided you know quadratic equations and then you get your answers. Clear? Now, again a very interesting question given to us. F of x be a quadratic polynomial in x such that f of x is greater than or equal to 0. Let us convert into two parts. F of x is greater than 0. F of x is greater than 0 when b square minus 4ac is less than 0, or I have f of x is equal to 0. Clear? So, if f of x is equal to 0, now that means that it has only one root. Clear? Now, I am told that f of 2 is equal to 0. Clear? If f of 2 is equal to 0, that means I can say that 2 is one of the roots. So, I can convert that f of x will be equal to x minus 2 whole square, because 2 is the only root of the equation. Now, f of 4 is equal to 6. If I replace 4 here, I am not getting the value of 6, which means the graph should be in the form of k into x minus 2 whole square. So, now if I replace f of 4, what do we get here? So, we get f of 4 is equal to k into 4 minus 2 whole square, which is 6 is equal to k into 2 square is 4, or the value of k is equal to 3 by 2. So, what do we eventually have? We eventually have that f of x is equal to 3 by 2 into x minus 2 whole square. Now we want f of minus 2. So f of minus 2 will be 3 by 2 minus 2 minus 2 will give you minus 4. Minus 4 whole square will give you 16. So this is 2 ones are 2 eights are, and therefore our final answer in this case has to be 24, which is going to be our final value. Clear, guys? So not a very difficult question to answer again. Again, application of quadratic and functions. Now let's look at one more question. I am given that f of x is equal to x square plus ax plus b, and I am told that g of x is equal to f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus 1. Okay. If f of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all real values of x, and I am told that g of 20 is equal to 72. Now this is a beautiful part. That means I want g of x. So we want g of x. Let me first calculate g of x as, instead of x, I will replace x plus 1. So what is f of x plus 1? I repeat. So f of x plus 1 will become x plus 1 whole square plus a into x plus 1 plus b, which is going to be x square plus 2x plus 1 plus ax plus a plus b. Okay. So f of x plus 1 will become x square plus 2x plus 1 plus ax plus a plus b. Now what is x minus 1? X minus 1 will give me x minus 1 whole square plus a into x minus 1 plus b. So this eventually gives us x square minus 2x. So minus of, you have x square minus 2x plus 1 plus ax minus a plus b. So plus ax minus a plus b. Let's calculate g of x first. Okay. So this is x square plus 2x plus 1 plus ax plus a plus b minus x square plus 4x minus 1 minus ax plus a minus b. So what all gets cancelled? X square gets cancelled. So this is plus 2x. My bad, yeah. So 2x and 2x are both positive, but plus 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled. Plus ax and minus ax gets cancelled. Plus b and minus b gets cancelled, which means what do we have? We have 4x plus 2a is equal to the value of g of x. Now I am told g of 20. Let's replace. So g of 20 is equal to 4 into 20 plus 2a. Now which is 72 is equal to 80 plus 2a, or we get 2a is equal to minus 8 or a is equal to minus 4. So what do we have? We have x square minus 4x plus b is greater than or equal to 0, because I am told that f of x is greater than or equal to 0. If this is greater than or equal to 0, we can convert this in the form of x minus 2 whole square, which will give me x square minus 4x plus 4, which means we will have minus 4 clear. So what do we have here? So we have a minus 4 and then we have a plus b here, right, which is greater than or equal to 0. So I can rewrite this as x minus 2 whole square plus of b minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. And I want the smallest possible value of b. That means this should be, if I take x is equal to 2, this becomes 0, and therefore I will have to take the value of b is equal to 4, then this value also becomes 0, and 0 plus 0 will always be greater than or equal to 0. That is the only way in which I can get the smallest possible value of these two values, right. So therefore the smallest possible value will only be possible when the value of b is equal to 4. Okay guys, now let's look at one more question here. So we have f1 of x is equal to x square plus 11x plus 1 and f2 of x is equal to x. I am told that f1 of x is equal to f2 of x. So what do we have? We have x square plus 11x plus n is equal to x, or we have x square plus 10x plus n is equal to 0. Now this has two distinct real roots. When it has two distinct real roots, that means the value of d is greater than 0. So what do we have? We have b square minus 4 into A into C is greater than 0, or we have 100 is greater than 4n, or n is less than 25. Now I want largest positive integral value of n. If n is less than 25, that means the largest value of n will be 24, and that is going to be our required answer. Right, now let's look at the next question, guys. Now I am given minimum value of 2x square comma 52 minus 5x, and I am asked the maximum value. Now whenever we have something like this, okay, max of minimum of a comma b, or whenever we have minimum of maximum of a comma b. Now remember, this can always be solved in a simplified manner by equating a is equal to b. Now let's assume, for example, a plus b is equal to 8, or let's say a plus b is equal to 8. So it can be 8 comma 0. Clear? So what is the minimum value of a comma b? So the minimum, okay, the minimum value of a comma b is 0. Similarly, this is 7 and 1, this is 1, 6 and 2, this is 2. Then we have 5 and 3, the minimum value is 3, 4 and 4, the minimum value is 4, and so on, so on, so on, it continues. And now I am calculating the maximum of this. Now what is the maximum value of this? The maximum value of this is equal to 4. Now when do I get that? I get that when a is equal to b. The same applies to maximum also. If I am calculating the maximum here becomes 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4, and now I am calculating the minimum value of the maximum. The minimum value of the maximum is again going to be 4, and which is again possible when both of them are equal. So always remember, whenever we are given max of minimum of a comma b or minimum of maximum of a comma b, we always equate them and we get our final answer. So let's solve this in a very simplified manner. So this will only happen when you have 2x square is equal to 52 minus 5x. So what do we have here? We have 2x square plus 5x minus 52 is equal to 0. Clear? So 52 into 2 is 104. Clear? Now 104 can be written as 2 into 52, or I can break this as 2 into 2 into 26, or we can write this as 2 into 2 into 2 into 13. So we have 8 and 13. Clear? So I can write this as 2x square minus 8x plus 13x minus 52 is equal to 0, or we have 2x common, this becomes x minus 4, plus 13 common, this again becomes x minus 4 is equal to 0. So we have 2x plus 13 or x minus 4 is equal to 0. That means we have to replace either x is equal to minus 13 by 2 or x is equal to 4, but I am told that x is a positive real number. So my job is to replace 4 here. So this becomes 2 into 4 square, that is 32, comma 52 minus 5 into 4, which is again going to give me 32, and therefore the maximum value is going to happen when, or the maximum possible value of f of x is going to be 32 at x is equal to 4. So this is how we solve the minimum and maximum questions, guys. Now let's look at one more question here, please. So we are given maximum value and we are asked the minimum value, which has come in some other slot here. So again the same logic here. We apply 5x is equal to 52 minus 2x square, or we have 2x square plus 5x minus 52 is equal to 0, which is a similar one, right? So we have 2x plus 13 into x minus 4, 2x plus 13 into x minus 4 is equal to 0, and x is a positive real number, so x should be equal to 4. So we replace 5 into 4, that means the minimum possible value of f of x will always be 20 when we are looking at these questions, right? Now let's look at this question, guys. Very interesting question. F of 5 minus x is equal to f of 5 plus x for every real value of x, okay? And I'm told that it has f of x is equal to 0 has 4 distinct roots, okay? Now tell me, guys, if f of x is equal to 0, can I say f of 5 plus x is also equal to 0? Let's say a is one of the roots. So let's write 5 plus a is one of the roots. If 5 plus a is one of the roots, then I can write f of 5 plus a is equal to f of 5 minus a, which is also equal to 0. Which means f of 5 minus a is also equal to 0. If f of 5 plus a is equal to 0, then 5 plus a becomes one of the roots. F of 5 minus a becomes equal to 0. So 5 minus a becomes the other root. Clear? Now let's assume b is another value. So can I write similarly f of 5 plus b is also equal to 0? If f of 5 plus b is also equal to 0, that means 5 plus b becomes one of the roots. Now if f of 5 plus b should be equal to f of 5 minus b, which is again equal to 0. So can I eventually say f of 5 minus b is also equal to 0, or this implies 5 minus b is also one of the roots. So we get 4 possible roots: 5 plus a, 5 minus a, 5 plus b, 5 minus b, right? So sum of these possible values: 5 plus a plus 5 minus a plus 5 plus b plus 5 minus b, and plus b minus b plus a minus a gets cancelled, and therefore our final value here comes out to be 20, and that's going to be our answer in a very simplified manner. Clear? So let's look at the last question on functions, guys. This had again come up in 2022 slot 3. Now f of x is 2x minus r if x is greater than or equal to r, and it's r if x is less than r. So f of x should be equal to f of x. So let's try to look at x is greater than or equal to r. So what is f of x? F of x is equal to 2x minus r. So what will be f of x? F of x will be f of 2x minus r, which will be 2 into 2x minus r, which will be 4x minus 2r minus r, that will be 4x minus 3r. Now this is f of x. So f of x, and I'm comparing with f of x. So f of x is equal to 4x minus 3r, and f of x is equal to 2x minus r, and these two are not equal. So x greater than or equal to r will not satisfy. Clear? Now let's look at x less than r. So if we take x less than r, so f of x is equal to r. So f of x will be f of r, and f of r will again be equal to r. Clear? So f of x is equal to r, and f of x is also equal to r. That means this condition satisfies that f of x is equal to f of x, and both of them are equal to r. That means the only condition it satisfies is x less than 0. Now if you look at the options, there is no individual option called less than 0, but I have an option called x is less than or equal to r, and therefore that becomes our final answer. So this completes our session on functions, guys. As we discussed, very simple chapter, and all our job is to look at is no formulas, right? Look at the input value of the number, look at the output value, and eventually get your final answer. So I hope you learned something from this session, guys. I again repeat, please like, subscribe, and share the video, and also let's keep learning. All the best, guys. Thank you.